Welcome to my nightmare.
Introduction later, but you can go ahead. I'll let you because I feel like you have like a really fire like introduction right quick if you want to just introduce yourself.
Open it up. Yo, check it out. People, what's good? What's happening? What's up? It's your boy Brian
Hey,
B on here with Troy D. Ryan. That's right, talking that horror, man. Really looking
yes,
forward to this interview.
sir.
I love movies
God.
and shit, yo. So this is like all my line right here. But Beeline Entertainment in the building. What's going on?
Yes, sir. Man, I'm telling you, yeah. So I was on his show for what did we do? We did like our top 5 scary movies
Yeah, we did our,
for that
our
shit on the
countdown for
Halloween
horror
show.
movies, our favorite personal horror movie experiences. Not trying to
Uh,
come for anybody's personally. People get real
it was some
sensitive.
interesting choices. It was some interesting
Yeah,
choices. I'm gonna say
yeah, for real.
that.
It was a lot of fun too.
Yeah,
We had
yeah,
movies that we haven't heard of before, kind of gave us the ability to experience some new stuff. And
yeah,
yeah, I love horror, man. I've been a horror fan my whole life, yo. You see the
yeah.
collection, bro. I got
I'm
collections of
telling you.
movies, man.
That's like I got it from my grandma. Really, like it's a mix of everybody because like my mom is like a big Michael Myers fan. She don't really care about horror, but she just loved Michael Myers. So like we'll
Yeah.
watch that shit every Halloween. And then my grandma was the one who was really into the other shit. Like I watched
Oh yeah.
Hellraiser with her for the first time, and I was like fucking 4. I'm looking like what the fuck is this?
Yep.
What
You
is
don't know the
this?
thing and shit, like seeing all this
God.
wild, reckless shit, on the thing. I remember one of my earlier memories was, my parents. I had the parents that took us to the movie theaters and shit. And
Yeah, man,
listen, they
that shit
they took us
was.
to the movie theaters. We was in there. We watched Don't Be a Menace in South Central with the Wayans brother.
That
We
was
was
my
a
shit.
fucking
That's
thinking
my shit.
about it now. It's crazy because like when you're a kid, you don't understand concepts and shit. So it's
Yeah,
like
you just laugh and you're like, oh, this is a funny scene. Like you
I
know it's a
was
funny scene
in
and shit.
I was fucking whatever year that movie came out,
Yeah.
elementary school for sure. And I sat there and was in the row, the 2 seats in front of my parents. I remember the people fucking in the movie. And then,
Yeah.
yo, listen, I didn't even check with him. Is it okay to, speak freely in here? I don't want to
Oh, hey, yeah,
say
hell
too
yeah.
much.
You,
But
I'm gonna say at this point you already know. I ain't holding shit
okay,
back.
cool. Cool, but
Yeah,
yeah, they was in there having sex, and then my mother, turn your heads, don't look, don't look. And I'm sitting there
right.
like knowing now, I'm like, my parents had my ass in this crazy ass movie, and
Like, what y'all think?
with nothing. But they also took us to horror movies too. So we went and saw one of the craziest ones I saw was Wishmaster, and Wishmaster was
Yo, shout out Wishmaster. That shit is
I
on Tubi.
remember. Yeah, it is in Tubi. A lot of shit is on Tubi. But
Yeah,
I remember watching Wishmaster in the movie theaters and not really being scared so much as
yeah,
like, what the hell am I watching? Like,
yeah,
as a
yeah.
kid
I can
and
see
shit.
that.
It was just weird. Like the guys, because Wishmaster had some crazy gore scenes, especially at the end
Yeah,
part.
and it
Remember
has
that
some real
party?
interesting imagery and shit. Yeah,
Bro, yeah. So I was like, what the fuck is it? And I've watched a lot of horrors, before that, but I
yeah.
just remember times like that, bro. Like the
I
experience.
remember that being one of the earlier films that I recall that flipped some shit that I liked on its head because it's like a
Mm,
genie. You know what I'm saying? As a
yeah,
kid, we had like the genie from Aladdin and shit.
Aladdin.
Like that. We had the fun, cute genies, and here they go
Yeah,
like, well, actually, they tricksters. We like,
yep,
oh shit,
yep.
like,
Sit there, be able to
and
get a
that
genie,
motherfucker
and
was crazy.
yeah, he was really crazy and stuff like that. The
Yeah,
dude who played him, I forgot his name, but tall
he
white
did
dude. He had
good.
that evil grin,
Fucking
bro,
slick hip, sick
bro.
black, that fucking wet hair type shit that just
Yeah,
be
yeah, and
slick
then it
back.
crazy like he got like that imagery of like the business kind of
Yeah,
corporate
yeah,
kind of conductor or whatever, and it's like you see him and it's like y'all grant you wishes, and anybody just like in the movie like anybody who approaches you in that like the first
okay,
thing you
cool.
first thing you like oh shit oh really you will well let me test it out and then you test it out you waste one of your fucking wishes
Right.
and then in
Or you
his
know it,
case.
motherfuckers dying and shit.
Bro,
But
Wishmaster was slept on, yo. Wishmaster was a
yeah,
concept movie and
the
everything.
first I watched, like I recall the first two. It's like 4 of them, I think.
Yeah, that's a
Um,
bunch now.
and I didn't see the last two, but I did see the first two. They
Yeah,
definitely weren't the
yeah.
Halloween occasional rewatch.
Yeah, shout out to
on some
Wishman.
random shit.
There's some movies like I don't know how many people is like me or whatever, but there's nights where it's just like I have these nights or these days or whatever. Like when I got some free time, or even if I'm busy and I'm like, man, fuck it, like I got to work.
Fuck it.
Yeah, put it in the background. But I usually have this time where it's like, I get off of work and then maybe, even if you work all day and you're just like, oh man, 12-hour shift, come home, eat, and you got to go sleep, do it again in the morning. There's sometimes even in between that I'll be like, man, I just want to watch a movie, yo. I don't even care what it is. Just whatever's on TV even. Yeah, like, and I'll sit there and just watch it. And you forget because, another thing I do is I always try to see, like, when I'm ready to watch a movie, I'll stand there for fucking 45 minutes, like searching to see what I want to watch. But then when I rewatch something, like I enjoy it, like all over again. Like I just rewatched Batman versus Superman, and it didn't get a lot of.
It was on TNT.
I actually watched it right off of Netflix. Yeah, I didn't even. I watched it right off of Netflix, and I was just watching it again. And I was like,
it's slightly underrated.
Yeah, it was. The thing about it, the scene with him and Batman fighting was fucking incredible. They depicted that amazing, but it's just like everything around the movie was just it was just dragged, bro. It was 2 hours and 30 minutes though.
Motherfucker.
It was dragged, yeah, and
and that's what DC is still struggling with. To hop out of horror for a second, they're fucking pacing sucks.
Yeah,
DC's pacing, and then like their ability to stitch the stories together, like
for real. Yeah, just go all in,
over and slow.
Just go all in. I don't know what the problem is with movies like trying to do this shit. TV shows do it too, where it's like they drag the anticipation so hard that you can't fucking get invested after a while. It's like
and it don't match the hype.
There you go, yeah. Or you're overhyping, so now it's like, man, this shit better be good, and then it happens. You're like, I waited for that, and it's like. Yeah, you're right, bro. There's a lot of concepts like that.
A lot of DC. I'm like, shit.
Yeah, I don't know.
So now I'll just be like, all right, cool. But so back on the horror shit, because we can go on that comic book shit on.
Gotcha. Yeah.
But so today we are talking about The Exorcist, Believer specifically, the new one. And before I even start with that, you've seen the original, right?
Oh, when I was fucking like 7 years old, 6, 7. Yeah.
Well, you just gotta gotta recheck and shit,
Yeah.
And so I say that because when new movies come out or remakes, you try not to, but you go into it with the mindset of the older one.
Yeah.
And with The Exorcist, since the first one, it's been like 7 sequels. Probably not that. No, it's like 7 sequels.
Yeah, it's been about. I think it's about 5.
Yeah, outside of, I'll say Exorcist 3. That shit was
Heretic.
fire.
Yeah.
But outside of that, the rest of them are just like kind of fucking bad. So I didn't have the highest hopes for this, and then I found out it was from the same motherfuckers who did the last Halloween trilogy, and then I really was like, oh.
Yeah. Listen, bro. Listen. Yeah, that's interesting right there. Exorcist is, whenever you put the name, I think, the title also speaks volumes. It's like Exorcist was a movement when it first came out. Like, it's an iconic fucking film. When people were throwing up, passing out in the movie theater.
Bibles,
it was crazy. Yeah. It was crazy. People were fucking losing their minds, man. You got to remember, this is an age where they didn't have the imagery that we have consistently now. They had, they had the TV screen and they had a radio and maybe a movie theater screen. That was it. There was no computers. There was none of that shit. So these people walk into a fucking movie theater after seeing the previews and stuff like that for this movie, where back then, also remember, they didn't show you as much as they show you now. So it was a lot of wordplay.
So there was a lot of wild shit to see that for the first time then too. Yeah.
Just walking that shit and just have the image of that girl turning her fucking head around and
banging herself with the fucking
cross. The cross. Yo, Jesus, listen, man.
I'm like, wait, that shit still trips me out. Like,
yo, you want to know what else is crazy too, Troy? I thought about this too with The Exorcist, man. A lot of people get caught up with the big scenes like that. You know what I'm saying? Like the throw up scenes and stuff.
Subtle ones too,
bruh. When she walked downstairs when they was having that party and said, "You're all," what she say? "You're all gonna die," and then she started pissing on herself.
You're gonna die up there. Yeah,
that's some creepy shit, man.
Because her face was so fucking blank. She
Yeah,
was
like,
like, it was just, you're gonna die.
and you put yourself in that
Pissed.
position. Like, just imagine your kid just come downstairs. You were sitting there, just sitting on the couch watching TV in the dark, just chilling. They supposed to be asleep. And your kid just come downstairs, stand there looking blankly at you. That's fucking horrifying.
Yeah, that's fucking horrifying.
Yeah.
And you know what, though? I can't even hold you up. My mind immediately goes to Scary Movie fucking 2. When they come downstairs and they playing that fucking mystical song, you guys suck.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm sorry, she's really, really sick. Put them in chain in the piss and start smacking her like a fucking dog.
Oh man.
Anyway.
Scary
But
movie
no,
was
yeah,
great.
it is the son. I'm telling you, that's so the first one. Just hop back on the parents going to the movie shit.
Yeah.
We didn't go to the movies to see that. This is when Blockbuster and shit was like, you know, fire, and you go every Friday. I saw that shit. And I remember seeing the commercials, but I was like, you know what, fuck it. Mark, can we get this? And shit, you know, whatever. Like, they didn't necessarily censor too much of what we watched, for real. If we haven't been watching some shit with them, then like, hey, but like, they kind of just knew we was watching shit. And they had all boys, so it was like shit.
Yeah. Boys, you get away with a lot.
Yeah. So I went home that weekend and I watched that shit, and I literally watched it all weekend. Like, I didn't stop.
Yeah.
The shit was fucking hilarious. But I just remember being like, dog, what is this?
The first two
things, comedy and scary shit. Like,
yeah. The first two was phenomenal, bro. That was another like iconic like movie series. Like, everybody was talking about Scary Movie. Everybody's trying to redo it. Yeah, shit was great.
Yeah, and then like 3 and 4 was 3 is still pretty funny. Just not on the same level. 4 is the laugh, and then 5 is just like, you gotta be like, you have to make yourself laugh at 5.
Yeah, I checked out.
Shit is
checked out after that shit, man. When they was making all the other side ones too, I checked out. But yeah, Exorcist was incredible, man. Exorcist was, and you wanna know what's crazy, Troy? On some real shit, The Exorcist did not scare me, yo. That was one of the ones that got past me. That it didn't scare me. Like, I wasn't. I don't know, because I saw so much other shit before that. Exorcist didn't fuck with me at all. Like, when I was younger.
So actually, you know what? I'll say real quick, because I have 2 things. I actually have a question about that one, but I'll say, I didn't care for the Halloween trilogy that had recently came out. So once I found out they were doing this, and found out this is supposed to be a trilogy too, I was like, and so going into it, I didn't have the highest hopes, but it wasn't as bad as I was expecting it to be. Yeah. But the other question was, do you think, because like how you were saying, like, all shit that we've seen at this point, especially like now, at the time, the shit was new, so it was like, niggas ain't seen shit like that. This is like, you know, but 74, 2023.
Oh yeah,
we didn't see a lot of other shit. So do you think that? Yeah, like I'm about to say, do you think it's like we can't be shocked anymore?
I definitely don't think we can't be shocked anymore, but I think
or at least horror fans.
I think that the way that they go about it has to be curved a little bit, because I like you're saying now, and I thought maybe there's something wrong with my ass, because you know another movie that I saw recently was Talk to Me. And you know, Talk to Me was actually a pretty. It was like an interesting movie, but everybody was hyping it up so hard, and I just wasn't fucking with it, man. Like, I was like, it was a good concept and stuff, but it was just so much, and I was like,
it was
didn't fit it.
Bogged down with a lot of shit.
Yeah, and like how everybody was building, I'm like, man, I gotta see this shit. I was like waiting to fucking see it, and then when I finally watched it, that's what I meant about like overhyping and shit. And then I finally watched it, I was like, fuck, this is it. This is what it was. So I don't think that we can't get, you know, surprised or shocked or like even like kind of scared or whatever, because, you know, when I watched certain movies will do it for certain people, but when I watched Smile was one recently that I can say I remember watching Smile and I was like, man, this is fucking good. I'm enjoying this. Like, not so much scared, but just like creep factor, like, you know, with the guys smiling. The end, like if you watch the whole movie and you see like the part where she's
that whole shit,
bro, that shit was good to me, man.
I'll say too that actually got me recently was the Boogeyman. That was one of them. That shit was actually pretty. I was like,
that was okay. Yeah, that was all right.
Yeah, that was, and it was just like the sound. It was amazing fucking sound quality. And whenever it like ground or whatever, that shit was like surround. So it was like I was like chill. Yeah. Like,
Boogeyman was pretty good. Hey. Boogeyman was pretty good actually.
Fire. Yeah, there was another one this year that had got me. And more so for the reality of the setting, because I have been there before. what is it? It started with a B. Damn. I don't know. That
Barbarian.
There we go. Yes, Barbarian.
Yeah. Barbarian
That
was kind of
shit.
crazy
Just,
too. That shit,
yeah.
that shit threw you for a loop. That's I liked it. I
Like
liked that
multiple
part.
times though.
Yeah.
Multiple
That
times. Yeah.
shit fucked you up mentally. Like, wait a minute. Like, you had to readjust your thoughts. And then when you finally saw like what the fuck was going on, it was like, what am I watching?
Wait,
Like,
what the fuck?
was it a different movie or some shit?
Dog.
Yeah, Barbarian was pretty
Man,
good.
I love that shit.
Yeah.
So
So we can still be
it
fucked
still can
around, but
happen.
you gotta like, you gotta
It just got to be
put
creative
work.
now. And that's
Yeah.
I think you gotta really put work in.
Like you
for
said, this
it.
Exorcist movie wasn't that bad. I was actually, whenever you see something getting remade or redone, you do kind of have low expectations for previous work. Halloween trilogy. Listen, Halloween. What was the first one? The first
So
one
it
that
was
came
Halloween, then kills, and then ends.
the first one when
Was fire.
I liked the first one. I liked the first one with
Yeah,
Jodie,
that shit was amazing.
with Laurie. I also kind of liked the
Kills
second
was
one
fun.
after that.
Yeah, Halloween Kills.
But-
It was fun. Like I
Yeah,
liked Kills too. It's
when he
fun.
killed all them fucking people and shit in the circle, which was unbelievable, totally.
I'm being insane.
But the third one, listen, they could have not
That
even
was
made
like,
that shit.
Because at that point, and what pissed me off about it was like if that was the story, they could have made it a spinoff. Don't build it as because it was built as like the final Michael Myers film and the final showdown between him and Laurie, and they were barely even interacting with each other, barely in the fucking movie. And it was like, oh, and then it's like I get so like from a writer's perspective, I guess the idea was like with the trilogy, the first one was to show how he affected, Laurie's family. The second one was to show how he affected the town, and then the third one was to show how his legacy passed on. But it was just a better way to do that.
Yeah, but I don't understand why they did it. Like, I even would have been more, satisfied with them. Not to spoil anybody, shit or whatever. But I just don't understand how they built up so much in that movie. Like you just said, like they could have really made it, even if they would have made like old boy just like on some dominant shit, and then him and Laurie get into the fight. But she didn't know that. Wait, this motherfucker's fully got powers like Michael Myers now, or something like that.
Yeah, and like Michael's just dead. They didn't have to bring him back at that point. Like, yeah.
Fuck that movie, bro.
But people would have been more pissed off at that point too.
Yeah, I was over, man. That shit, I was watching it just when you watch a movie and you're like, man, I just know this is gonna be good, and you're like, all right, I'm gonna give it a chance. And you look at the clock and you're like, wait a minute, this has been on for an hour. The ending better be fucking incredible.
I'm telling you. And that's literally so. Like the only thing that I liked was the fucking opening scene of that shit.
Yeah,
yeah.
Like that was like,
all right, what the fuck,
bro. The ending with him and Laurie, like you said, bro. It was like that movie was gassed up, like it was gonna be their final fucking battle.
And it was like a 5-minute fight, right quick, and that was it.
That shit was horrible. So
just to hop that are related back into, this is why I'm like,
yeah.
All right, so that just wasn't too bad. I'll go into like some of the shit that I liked about it. I like the opening scene. With the pregnant wife and shit. They were like Haiti or whatever.
Okay, yeah. That's right. That was
kind of like a cool scene.
Yeah.
And then my only thing with that was it would have been like a cooler scene if they had like sorry, my nephew just figured whole.
No, you're good.
If it just had more scares.
Yeah.
It was more like I feel like the overall, even outside of that scene, the whole movie just had more story or more like heart. If that makes sense.
Yeah,
it's a very heartfelt movie.
It did keep you like in suspense, like kind of see what the fuck is going on. It was creepy the way old girl was kind of getting like the possession and stuff like that. I thought it was, I also agree. I thought it was pretty good, man. I actually enjoyed it while I watched it. I liked the part where he was like running her the bath and she was in the room or whatever. It was some pretty good some good shit in there. Yeah.
It was so like okay, so I'll say like, and this is what I mean. Like I think the heartfelt part went out with this. Like you think back on the first one, it was heartfelt. Obviously, it's a mother dealing with her fucking child being possessed by the devil and shit. So yes, there's heart in that, but like there was so much more horror. And with them having 2 kids in this, there was double the heart.
Yeah.
where there should have been double the horror.
Yeah, and I also
And-
I also like the transition that they made, like having like the priest come or and having like more people, and the priest was kind of like he was like reluctant, like I don't know if I want to get involved with that because of the. And I like the tie-in to the first one too. People bitched about it and said that they didn't. I think it was smart. I think it was something that made sense. It told the rest of the story of what's her name? What the fuck was her name? Reagan. Yeah, it told Reagan's story. That was a nice part to have inside. The mom actually being beneficial and assisting, like trying to help. And so I thought it was a pretty decent movie. I didn't think it was bad. People were trying to hate on it. It was kind of a mixed reviews when I heard before I saw it or whatever, but people were saying stuff
like
about it.
I was saying I did see mostly hate because I ain't gonna hold you up. That shit was in theaters the second week of October and was on Peacock by the third week and on Amazon and shit.
That's most
they got rid of
now,
that
though,
shit,
man.
But they keep them in there for a couple weeks. They got rid of that motherfucker in a matter of like, get this shit out of here.
They don't got no hope for that shit.
But like for the example, like the opening scene and shit where like she's getting the pregnant lady just comes across like the random shaman lady or whatever the fuck.
Yeah.
And they were interconnect, like they was just doing like shots of her, doing like the ritual on her. They would have cut in shots of like some creepy shit.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Like it's like little shit that they could have did to add to the horror factor of it.
I got you. Yeah. So you're looking at like depicting more what could have been more engaging for the experience.
Yeah, because it was like again the opening scene was good, but it was like you think opening scene, you think. Scare me. Nothing necessarily scary happened per se. It was just like kind of ominous in a way.
Well, Troy, let me ask you, man, because I was actually thinking about this too, Lo, and I know we're talking about horror for sure. One thing I've been trying to like figure out, bro, like your opening question, one of your opening questions was, are we desensitized? We got a lot going on now where we have so many avenues to watch so many fucking movies we saw, movies that existed, before our time, all of that shit. And it's like we live in this era where we critique the shit out of everything, bro. We got superhero movies, we got Iron Man and shit flying, Hulk, all that stuff, and we still like, it wasn't that good. We critique the shit out of it. We ready to critique it. But at the same time, I mean, I don't think everybody's wrong. You know what I'm saying? I don't think we're wrong for saying the Michael Myers shit was wrong. So it's like I had to start thinking to myself, what the fuck are we looking for when we looking for movies, man? Like, what are we interested in?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because it's difficult to try to get to grasp like the concept. And when I think about when I think of a good movie, like I'm like, damn, like I just said, Smile was. Yeah, I remember I was watching that shit. I was like, damn, that shit was good. Something that just continually keeps you engaged. I don't feel the need for all of these long, drawn out parts where you're building up to the fucking final thing. I think if you're going to do that at this point in, 2023, 2024, you have to still have engagement.
Keep being on toes. Yeah.
Yeah, keep it up.
Well, we kind of touched on it a little bit, actually. So it's we're looking for something new.
Yeah.
That's what it always has been. It's just something that we haven't seen or something that we have seen but done in such a different way that we're like, oh, shit, that we don't see it coming kind of thing. Like,
I'm telling you.
We want to be, and that's the thing I think with horror fans. I think people who are fans of anything in general, but specifically horror fans, it's like a high almost. You know what I'm saying? We're waiting for that next one.
That dopamine kick.
Yeah, and so we can detect bullshit. Even before we watch it, like, oh shit, that's
true. Yeah, when you start a movie, and if you think about like kind of the formula of it, you start a movie, pretty much any movie, the beginning scene is the opening. It's the opener. A lot of times you'll have movies, especially horror. You gotta have a fucking good beginning. Think of Scream. Think of
shit. Like,
exactly. You gotta hit somebody and capture the attention. And a lot of times, like if you start off and it's the cool little family scene, and everybody's good, and then somebody goes to school and somebody does this, and then bam, you get hit with some shit. Like, wait, where the fuck did that come from? Now you're like, the best here's the best example. Let me tell you the best example. When they went,
the whole motherfucker's hand off.
Bro, listen, bro. When he was riding that boat, had the cute little music, and here we go, Troy.
Both versions, both fucking versions.
Yeah, in both versions. The setup here, he's riding the boat. Georgie's got the boat. He's following. the rain. All of a sudden, what happens? He's having a blast. The first thing that hits this motherfucker, boom! He bumps his head on the traffic sign. Oh shit! No, I'm out of it a little bit.
Georgie. Right.
That broke it. But what I'm saying is that broke the experience for you because you were living his life with him. He was enjoying it. He was having fun. His brother made him a boat.
It woke you up.
Exactly. It jolted you. So now it's like, now you go back to him. All right, go get your boat, Georgie. Don't know. Just get up. You're okay.
Catch it.
And it goes in the drain. It goes in the drain. And we already know what's going to come, but we didn't know how it was going to come.
So or how vicious it would be.
Listen.
Like, I remember, so like, imagine not seeing the old one, right? And watching the new one for the first time.
Bro, I saw the first one. I saw the first one, and I knew the part because in the first one, he just opens his mouth and just and then it just fades to black and it goes into the fuck. But this shit, when he finally after he talked to him, bruh, he took his life, bruh.
Yeah,
that shit was unbelievable. I mean, I've never been in a movie theater. I've been in a couple movie theater for a couple big scenes. That scene right there,
2 seconds. I'm gonna grab my
yeah, you good. All right.
All right, cool. Be back. Okay, we back. But
that was that
shit.
That shit right there was so crazy, bro. The girl we was with, it was me and my cousins who went and saw it, and the girl we was with, she was in the middle seat, and when he bit her arm, she literally kicked the fucking horse kicked the chairs in front of us. Yeah, that shit was crazy, man. That shit was really good. You know, another one that hits for me, like that, on some crazy shit that I remember everybody losing their fucking mind in the movie theater was The Ring. When old girl came out the TV in The Ring.
The TV for the first time?
Yo, niggas was in the movie theater losing their fucking mind, bro. We was high as shit watching that too. We was high as shit.
That was in the days of the Japanese American remake era.
Yeah.
And it was like The Grudge and fucking One Missed Call, Pulse,
Shutter.
Like,
yeah, they had a bunch.
All that shit.
I like people like to sit there and the Japanese version was better. I'll be real with you. The Grudge, especially, I thought The Grudge was phenomenal.
It's like because our version. I mean, the story is probably a little bit better on like the Japanese side, but like our visuals look
production. You know, another one that people tried to was Record. You saw Record, but then they remade it. Quarantine. Quarantine was fucking phenomenal.
I love that shit. I love Jennifer Carpenter though.
Jennifer Gale, bro. Her and another one. Speaking of Exorcist, The Exorcism of Emily Rose.
Emily Rose.
That's one that scared the shit out of me. That scared the shit out of me.
That one did get me. She did fucking great, and that shit was like it was like a part where she was like on the ground or some shit.
Bro.
And then she just kind of like did this hop up right quick on her like knees and got like that. Like that shit was.
Oh yeah, when she was praying. Crazy. The part that fucked with me the most was when the boyfriend was on trial and he was telling a story about when they were in the dorm and he said he had stayed the night because she was scared and then he woke up and then you saw it was just a picture of him. It was a shot of him and he was on the bed and he woke up and his eyes got wide. He backed up and they turned the camera and she was on the floor all fucking contorted looking at him.
Hell yeah.
If I saw, listen, bro, I would have fucking ran through that wall with my shape. I'm telling you, right, bro. That shit for me, like for me to get scared, it's that shit, like that creepy ass. I can't believe, like what, like the Paranormal Activity. Like I think we were talking about this on my show, Paranormal Activity. When that bitch was standing there on the bed and just standing there, just staring at the fucking wall for hours.
I'm good.
Take my life, yo.
You had a house. You had a house.
I fucking quit.
I'll figure it out.
I love that shit, yo.
Dog. So
Yeah.
real quick to hopping back to Exorcist right quick. So
Yeah.
I guess we can just kind of like name our pros and cons of it. Like just 3 things we like, 3 things we didn't like.
Got you.
So the 3 that I did like, I liked that there was some new ideas. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It was cool, like the African spirituality and shit. Like they had that lady doing, some of her shit. And I was like, oh, that's what I'm saying, different
Yeah.
for the Exorcist series. Although it's not necessarily because they always kind of reference overseas shit. We just never see how that goes.
The beginning was like the excavation, whatever they call that or whatever. That was the beginning of the first one, and that's where they found
like,
that thing, the statue or whatever.
Statue. Yep. The other thing, the fucking kids, the little girls, I think they did some fucking fire acting. Like,
yeah, they're pretty good.
The little girl, when she's in that fucking church, the body of the blood. The body of the blood. I was like,
it's crazy, yeah. It was very trippy as fuck.
I like. And then I think the last thing that I liked, it was kind of, I liked that it came from because like some of the same idea of the very first one. Like I feel like little girls are always kind of drawn to witchcraft or to try it or play with it and shit like that. Because that's what what I'm saying. They was trying to do a little bit with this, like, oh, let's go ahead, and it's always like that. That's kind of like the first one, like or the original. Her playing with the fucking Ouija board, and I've never personally and maybe try to look at magic shit or do magic shit, but I never want to fuck with no Ouija board.
Like, nah, never, none of that shit. I was always into ghosts and stuff like that. Like paranormal was big. I was ghost hunters, ghost adventures, ghost all that shit. I was really big into that for a long time. But me doing anything and trying to communicate and get the fuck out of here. I'm good. I'm good.
I already feel like they be trying to communicate with me any goddamn way. I ain't about to go seek him out. So then my cons for it is it wasn't bad. It just wasn't necessarily exciting. It was too slow at some point.
Yeah.
And I think that, like I was mentioning, with it having too much heart, it should have doubled on the horror. So, like, for example, right? Like, I feel like small change. If they made, because we got a chance to see the black dad's backstory and shit and all that. If they made, like, the little white family, like, if they made them trash, like, made them mean as fuck to her, like, you know what I'm saying, give a contrast to how these girls are growing up.
I got you. Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
instead of friends,
added. Yeah, it was like double love. Like, not to say that's bad, but it was just like heavy on the heart aspect of where's my daughter? Like they should have had some shots going back to how her life was at the house, and them like probably whooping her ass while she's possessed or something. Like.
Yeah, I think they kind of did try to make a little bit of a like depiction because remember, like she had didn't she have like money or something? Like her parents were kind of like negligent a little bit, or they were like preoccupied.
Sort of, but they were like super religious.
Yeah, that's what it was. That's
what
it was.
They were like, yeah. So they were like heavy into church and shit like that.
Yeah, because at the end it tied into that whole situation where it's like you had to have faith, but not to spoiler alert. But you had to have faith with the father who was supposed to have the most faith. He's the one who gave in. Was like, nah, fuck that. I want my daughter. I don't care.
Right.
And then bam,
fuck this shit.
I feel you though.
Then, like, so you got any pros, cons?
Yeah, I mean,
you pretty much agree with the ones I had.
Such as what you said. I mean, I think that I think it was a good movie as far as the pros. I think it was a good movie. I think it told a decent story. I like the tie back to the original. They did a good job without overdoing it. I enjoyed it more of a tie back or like kind of not a sequel, but just like a continuation. Really, I enjoyed that part. If they would have tried to remake it, I would have been over it. I definitely would have been over it. But I like how I also like how they, like you said, I like the story's transition. I like how they introduce, the mom is lost, and so she's gonna try to see if she can communicate. Hey, I learned some shit. I'm all religious, and we talk to this and talk to that.
Trying to call out to some motherfuckers
for real, and take their ass in a fucking deep ass little dungeon, little thing or whatever.
I was like, wait,
bruh, listen, they'll do some shit too. Try to act like we ain't.
She had. I mean, we get into some shit, but it's usually because we got bad influences. So
but I liked how they kind of played it, like when they were, hey, we were only going for like a little while, and they were like, no, even going for like fucking a week. What you talking about? I
It's
like
been
the
a few
direction.
hours, but
The dynamic was
yeah,
pretty good. They built some shit into it.
yeah,
That's what I would say as far as the pros. I thought the ending was pretty decent. I didn't
yeah,
hate the ending like I've been hating Netflix's endings on almost all their fucking movies recently.
yeah,
Um, but as far as the cons, I thought that, like you said, I thought they could have maybe had a little bit more detail into
yeah,
just some more creepy shit. It's like some like
yeah.
really creepy shit. They had
Because it's like
some,
it's for what this franchise is.
yeah,
This shit is like horror. It's just
build the
like so
level,
like you
build it,
gotta
yeah.
scare me, motherfucker.
Yeah,
Like
and at the end, I really thought like something was going like come out them motherfuckers and like at this point, like we
yeah,
said, like we have so much. You're used to seeing some crazy shit. Like you can still scare the shit out of somebody with an exorcism of Emily Rose type, but for this one, I feel like they needed some
yeah,
really deep shit. Like, and I don't think they met it all the way, but I still thought that it was good, even though they didn't. I don't want to hate on it because I actually
yeah,
enjoyed it.
yeah.
It
Not at all.
wasn't like a favorite,
It
but
wasn't as
I'd watch
bad
it again.
as as the reviews made it. I'll say.
Yeah, I'd watch it again. It would rewatch.
So did you ever watch the Exorcist TV show that came out a couple years back?
No, I didn't.
That
Yeah.
shit, please.
Was it good?
I'm going to tell you now. Amazing. And I don't.
Yeah.
It's like if the motherfuckers who did this, I can tell they didn't watch that because they watched that. They would have. This would have been right on the money. Like the fucking TV show is like the best thing since the first like original, and it ties into the original. So
shit. Okay.
So actually, now that I think about it, it could play a little bit into this. Yeah, it could. It could a little bit. Yeah,
It's got some ties to it.
Yeah, because it's kind of a follow up from the very first movie anyway. But the show, especially the first season, the second season isn't bad. It's just the first season really like a hit.
Did they cut it off already?
Yeah. It was like 2014 or 15 or like 17, 18, somewhere like that.
Gotcha. Yeah. It's hard to make a TV show.
Fire.
It's hard to make a TV show unless they're like aiming for like a limited series or whatever, on the concept of certain things. I think The Exorcist would kind of be difficult. Like, what the motherfucker going to possess every season? Like,
right?
We're just stay possessed forever.
Possessed all the time. Shit.
Yeah.
But so then we can go ahead and rate it. So I like to do my rating scale. It's like 5 stars. The first star is watchability. I decided to give it that one because it is watchable. I didn't. Get bored or I didn't fall off from it. It was just, like I said,
agree.
It had its some moments, but I was able to stick with it. The second star is Killer Fear Factor. And technically it's not a killer per se, but like, demons and possession and shit, that shit is creepy. So yeah, I gave it that one.
Okay. I don't know. I might have, as far as the Killer Fear Factor, for me, not even just for me, I try to like, keep my mind open. Like, would this scare somebody else? It didn't scare me at all. It really didn't scare me at all. It kept me engaged, but it didn't scare me really. So I might hold that star on my end. I don't know.
Okay. I feel that.
Okay. So far I got 1 star. You got 2.
Yeah, I think I'm just gonna stick with them too. But we got 2 more categories. Let's see. So the next one is kill count, and
does that exist?
Really?
Yeah, it was like 1 maybe.
It was like maybe what 2? Yeah, one or 2. And I'm really guessing on the second one because I think it might have just only been the. Oh well, that's 2.
It was 2. It was
the
2.
Girl and then the mom in the beginning.
Yeah.
So nah, they don't get that one. Gore, which I guess kind of goes hand in hand with the kill count part.
Yeah. You can't give that shit either.
So we give it that, and then the last one is cinematography. And I didn't give it that one because the most interesting visuals were like when the 2 girls are in the chair.
Yeah.
And like, some of the parts that were like doing aerial shots of like the symbology on the ground. And, and like when the hearts were beating in sync and the little EKG machine showed it, like, little shit like that. But it wasn't any like imagery genuinely like, oh shit in there.
Yeah. Nothing crazy. So for this one, I mean, I guess it would be kind of hard for those for that rating. Because I mean, I still, even though I think just watchability is the only star I can give it out of your categories, I mean, I would still say that the story is good enough to be engaged. It's definitely good enough to just intrigue your interest, not just because it's a tie-in to the original. It's good enough for you to never watch the original and you still have an enjoyable movie to watch. But yeah, it wasn't anything crazy, but it's definitely, if you got some time in your hands, don't go out of your way if you waiting until the show's on.
Right,
For
you know
real.
what I'm saying?
For real, like don't fucking quit your job.
You know
But there's
what I'm
movies out there you got to quit your job to go watch that shit. But yeah,
Dog.
don't quit your job. Go ahead
For
and
real.
got a moment without the kids. It's on. Let me check it out.
Yeah,
It's on
let me go ahead
Netflix.
and check it out.
Yeah, check it out. Yeah, for sure.
So yes, I mean, yeah, I guess if I get 1 to 2 stars, that's
Okay.
fine.
Cool,
that works out for me. So hey, so next we're gonna hop on to my other segment right quick, which you mentioned you got a story for earliest scare. Earliest scares you remember seeing and just being like, and we kind of been touching on shit like that anyway throughout.
Oh yeah.
But like, just a specific one that you remember being like, okay, what the fuck?
Yeah. Listen, so even kind of now is I kind of judge, like like you said, since we've been watching them for so long, like I kind of judge movies on how I feel after I watch that shit. Like, am I fucking scared to go in my room? Am I scared? Especially when I was little. Like, I was a little more kind of a scared kid when I was younger. Like, I grew up to be a lot more like, I don't give a fuck about anything now. But it's like, when I was a kid, like, certain things really would bother me. But here's my stupid ass. I would still do it because I liked it. I like, you know what I'm saying? I used to watch, I tell people all the time,
I like the thrill.
Yeah, I liked it. Like, I used to watch movies like Dusk Till Dawn and of course, the regulars. And I would make weapons. I'd make weapons in my house out of fucking, broomsticks. Look, I still kind of do it. Look, I still got handy shit that I use. I be fucking shit up, bro. And I'm one of them type of dudes. But so I've been watching all that shit, and movies to me, when I get scared, if I can't sleep because the door is open a certain way, and I'm like, man, this motherfucking thing is gonna come up in here. The first movie, the first movie that I really, really, really remember being fucking scared was House on Haunted Hill. The House on Haunted Hill.
Ooh,
not the original one, the remake. Yeah, with Famke Jensen and Taye Diggs. And who else was in there? Ali, what's it called?
Ali Lauder.
Yeah, Ali Lauder. She was in it. That movie right there scared the shit out of me, bro. We saw that's another movie my parents took us to watch in the movie theater. And the thing that fucked with me with that movie was, you remember the one part, for whoever saw it, if you haven't saw it, definitely go watch it. It's fucking good. The opening scene. Talk about a fucking opening scene where they're in the mental facility. And the guy's sitting there, they're just going through the whole transition of. This gonna take a second.
Some bullshit happening.
I'm gonna paint this picture for your audience right now. Listen, you're an opening scene. It's a mental asylum. It's back in like the '60s or whatever, and it's just showing you the different things that are happening in the mental facility. So you see the people that are there. The doctor is doing an operation on the guy. He's in a thing, and the nurse is recording it. Then they text to the receptionist at the thing, man with glasses. He's sitting there writing on a pencil. He blew the shavings off in slow motion. So all that's happening, right? So the guy sitting there has got a cage thing behind him or whatever. And then all of a sudden you sit there, they pan around, and you see against the door is a guy just up against the glass panel. You can't really see him all the way, but you see he's pressed up against the thing. Right. And then the guy turns around and he breaks through the fucking glass. There was guys, they broke through inside to the thing. And the opening scene is the guy take a stack of pencils and sticks it through this motherfucking neck. And we're fucking kids, like 6th grade, sitting there watching this shit like, what the fuck is this?
What the fuck?
But that's what happened at the opening scene. So the part that scared the shit out of me was finally, they get to the people to the house, and they turn it into like some kind of thing or whatever. And this guy has a birthday party there, and literally, the reporter's there. Sonya Blade from fucking Mortal Kombat. And Billy Madison's girl and shit, the teacher. Bridget Wilson, I think that's her name. Brenda Wilson,
something like that.
So she goes and she got the video camera. She's going around the house and walking around by herself and reporting everything. So at one point, she's got the camera and she sees through the camera in one of the rooms, the doctors from the opening. They were on the fucking camera while she was sitting there watching or whatever. So she put the camera down. It was nothing there. So she's like, what the fuck? And she's sitting there watching the camera. Now, the part in the opening where the guys were on the ceiling and they all look up, it gets to that part, but instead of them looking up, they fucking turn their head and look directly at
right
her.
in her ass.
And I'm watching this shit as a kid, like, what the fuck is happening?
Fuck?
And then she
Yo.
goes and turns around, and there's this motherfucker in the shadows with a weird face, and he's just shaking his fucking head, standing there looking at her. And then he comes and just super fast, gives his face all changes, and she screams. Watch that, yo. I was shitting bricks. I couldn't fucking sleep. I couldn't do anything because of that movie. So I hope I just painted y'all a good picture. Go watch that.
So yeah, it's Bridget Wilson. Sorry, I had
Bridget Wilson. Yeah.
Dog, that shit. Yeah, House on the Hill.
Bro, House on the
Hill.
Hill.
The part that scared me of that shit was at the end when that fucking smoke shit is started like rising up to get there as his face is coming out of it and shit. Sarah, help me! Like that shit, I was like, yo, what the fuck? Get out!
That shit was crazy.
So one of the ones for me is and it's looking back on it. I mean, you know what I'm saying? It's technically a horror comedy, but it's what we do best, Black people. You know what I'm saying? So it's like we laugh at our horror, but it's just terrifying. So the movie Tales from the Hood.
Tales from the Hood. I knew you were gonna say that shit.
The fucking ending. I literally couldn't watch it until like I was in college, low key, because Clarence Williams.
Yeah.
My man's did such an amazing. I mean, the nigga did amazing as that crazy ass fucking Morgan. Like, oh, you'll get the shit. Like, he was that bitch tripping, but I loved it. And like when he was like turning into the devil, the imagery of it, I literally couldn't handle it as a kid. Like, the first time I saw that shit, I was like,
bro, he was wild. He was fucking wild.
I'm pretty sure I pissed on myself. I know I did. I know I.
Yeah, Tales of the Hood got some creepy shit in it. Yeah, Tales of the Hood got some creepy shit in it.
That was one of my earliest being like, oh, okay, what the fuck is this? So I literally could not watch that shit for years until I was in college. Like,
yeah, with the dolls, with the the one that fucked me up with Tales of the Hood was when the dad was, beating on the kid.
Oh yeah,
he was calling him the monster in the closet, and he drew the picture and shit. That I don't know why that one fucked me up more than anything. It was just like the realism.
Probably because we were younger. Yeah, I'm gonna say So
I didn't get abused or anything.
So, but like you're kind of like in the child's spot.
I guess so.
Like that was our view into that story.
There you go. Yeah.
So it was like because that was the one that got me the most too.
That shit was crazy.
Yeah, that shit. I gotta say another one real quick, just because this kind of came to mind before I let you go and shit.
No, you good.
13 fucking Ghosts.
Yeah, 13
when
Ghosts.
You said
I love that.
Why House on Haunted Hill and 13 Ghosts kind of go hand in hand for me. I thought they came out the same year or something.
Well, that was 13 Ghosts was a little bit later because I saw 13 Ghosts by myself. I was in like 8th grade at that point. House on Haunted Hill was like I think that was like my 6th grade.
That was like 2000 or some shit. Like
yeah. 99 even I think.
Yeah. Actually, I think it might even be Yeah, but like they always, I think it's because I used to watch them together or something.
Yeah, 13 Ghosts. Like,
they made me think of each other. Yeah. First time I saw that shit, the motherfucking head, the last 3 Ghosts.
Yeah,
and like all the other ones, they was creepy and shit, but it was like whatever. The last 3 motherfuckers, the Hammer, the Jackal, and the fucking
Juggernaut.
I don't know the big one. Yes, Juggernaut. Them 3 motherfuckers had me fucked up.
They supposed to do it. You heard they supposed to do a they're working on the Netflix series for the Ghosts, right?
It's supposed to be like so like on the DVD they have like a small part of like their story, but if they could visually do that shit because it's already there, just like that should be fine.
I would love it. I think that should be awesome.
Yeah.
Ooh, yeah. 13 Ghosts is incredible. Yeah, I love that fucking movie.
That
would be something that
at the fucking end.
Yeah. See, there's certain movies that if they remake them, I won't be mad. Like people be super mad. It's just how you do it. Like don't do it on some goofy.
Yeah, it's a way to do
it. Chucky, how Chucky did the Chucky remake was fucking horrible, and you could have done it really well.
Yeah, and then a good one you think is like Evil Dead, 2013. It was fucking lovely.
Phenomenal,
like that is like.
All the Evil Deads, even the other one, the newer one, they got that shit on.
Rise, that shit,
bro. That shit,
I love that shit.
Phenomenal. I'm about to watch that shit tonight. Fuck that. I don't got no kids here either.
Go ahead and give it another watch. Yeah,
that shit's good, really good,
dog. But yeah, man, I appreciate you for doing this with me. I'm gonna definitely have you back because this is what the fuck I do.
Yeah. I might even
I'm
do
glad you do it too.
I've been trying to get my entertainment show back up up and running because I got some different ideas. I do so much shit on the entertainment show; it's hard to kind of keep things that I want to do. But I'm going to try to start doing what I want to do more, and I do want to have you come back on. And I just want to have an open conversation about horror, like not even just like just have like a set of questions about certain movies, and we just go over fucking movies, from there. Because you can get lost in it, bro. You talk about this shit for 3 hours and be lost.
Man, what? Because it's so much to say.
There's so many. Yeah. Maybe we'll do like genres. Maybe we'll do like genres or something like that, where we could talk about the different genres. That way, our options are
for like the
endless.
past year, I've been making like random lists and shit that I put on like my TikTok. So like I've done like top 5 New York setting horrors, or like top 5 bathtub horror scenes, like
that's
shit
awesome,
like that. So
yeah,
definitely.
That's actually a really good idea.
Hell yeah, I'm down. But yeah, so before I let you go, bro, I'm obviously catch you in about an hour and a half on. Live on the not live on the line, but Pussy Talks.
Pussy Talks back.
Hey, but yeah, definitely letting people know where to follow you, all that.
For sure, yeah, definitely. Check us out, man. We're actually on the Beeline ENT. I really appreciate, being on the show with Troy today. He's on my show all the damn time. So it really felt good to talk about the horror and everything like that. But yeah, we on YouTube. Check us out, like Troy said, on TikTok. We're actually, building our TikTok up. We're gonna be doing top 5s and stuff like that. I used to host top 5s on my entertainment show, but I'm moving it to TikTok because we got a lot of shit on the entertainment show.
Yeah.
And we're just doing different things, doing ratings, doing different stuff. We have Live on the Line Sunday nights. We have the web show on Tuesday nights. All these start at 9:00. And if you're a wrestling fan, WWE, AEW, any of that stuff, we go straight through the ropes, baby, on Wednesday night, 9:00. Yeah, all day. But yeah, man, a lot of fun, bro. Really appreciate you having me on. And we definitely got to catch up and do this more, man. Even with a whole bunch of stuff. Maybe we'll do like a comic one too. All that shit. Just fucking have a movie talk, yo.
I'm down. That
sounds like a new show.
About I'm about to say, because actually I've been thinking about that. Like, I just don't know what I want to call it, but I would low key it'll be fire to do with multiple like with a co-host or something, or just a couple of, you know what I'm saying. But because I want to talk about fucking the superhero movies, like you know what I'm saying. Some movie of the talk. More serious movies, because I like dramas and shit, like all that shit. So
gotcha.
We gonna be on it.
Yeah, definitely.
Appreciate you for stopping by, bro. I will catch you in about an hour and a half anyway.
You got it.
But yeah.
All right, Troy. Be good, bro.
Yes, sir. Peace.